Junior speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on the line, down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wait him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Whipped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
Get ready to play hardball in the Kingdom.
Take me to the ball game. I want to see the Ants. The Mariners are playing hardball. Did it again and again and again. Did it again.
Princess Tours, the vacation company, brings you the best show in baseball when the San Diego Chicken plays hardball with the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles tonight in the Kingdom.
What's your go-to if we just had a big walk-off victory? Everybody's coming out of the stadium charged up. What's your go-to?
So I reel them in with some Michael Jackson, and then for Michael Jackson, I get them dancing with each other with Dance With Somebody. And then, we just keep the party going for a little bit. And then I got to throw in that Don't Stop Believing, just so the fans know, win, lose, or draw, we still support the Mariners. You know what I mean? That always gets them riled up. And then I take it to some more dancing. And then I sometimes have to stop because they won't stop dancing. So I'm like, all right, this is the last song. They're like, no.
Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast.
We have the one and only Mr. Tom Hutler. Do you have any of your favorite stories from the Kingdom?
There was a time we had an earthquake, and so they were going to evacuate the building. So I was getting up to go leave. They go, no, you can't go. You got to read these safety things. It's
do we need to tell them that there's smoking's only on the exterior ramp?
Yeah. And Dave came shooting past. He signed off. I'm going, wait, I'm the only one here.
Listen and subscribe to Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast, wherever you get your podcast.
What up? This is Myron, and you are listening. We're checking out the Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast. That Down on the Docks on the other side of the tracks, 5-star dive bar podcast about, those Seattle Mariners. I'm coming to you live here. This is late, actually. It's out here. We're up against Kimmel and Fallon out here, out there in West Hano. What are you guys up against? America's Got Talent. Out there, what's it, 8:30 at the time of this recording, 8:45 out there, 11:30 out here. It's been a long week. It's been a long road trip, but hey, we're here to talk about it.
Yeah, not a good road trip for sure. That's stating the obvious. We're on Fairleigh Lake, but good thing they're coming home, and it was a disaster. They did not play good at all in all phases. It was a complete 180 from what the homestand was for them. But, Philly's a damn good team. You saw it with your own eyes. They're probably one of the favorites, in my opinion, in the NL.
They do not miss the ball. If you leave it over to the plate, if you leave a big fat cheesesteak over the plate, this is the Eaton town, and that's the Eaton team. That's pretty much how I've gotten through this entire trip out here. It's thank God Philadelphia, I've never been here before. It's such a great town. full of history, good food. I've done other things because of the Mariners. The Mariners has felt like the job of the trip, just by the way they're playing. And you talk about how we've all felt during the let's just go back to the Ichiro weekend, right? I mean, that was probably the peak of it, right? That Saturday and Sunday, they complete the sweep. They're on this big winning streak, and they get on the road. We're feeling great. They get a 1-0 victory. Like, hey, we haven't seen one of those in a while. And then now we're back here. You've been so lucky to have the Houston Astros not going on a run right now, or you would be buried. They've really made it hard on themselves to think that maybe they could catch Detroit or Toronto, though. Now that's the real bad news, right? I feel like. And the other thing, it feels like the Mariners are kind of exposed right now if there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound against them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they struggle against lefties, and they faced some of the best lefties that I've seen. I mean, those guys change speeds, got a lot of deceptive movement to their balls, really kept the Mariners totally off balance. And with that right-handed lineup that we put out there, it's just not going to cut it. But it is what it is. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there was a few positives this last series. I mean, it was nice to see Gino get going and Julio hit the ball. He had a pretty good road trip defensively. He was a little suspect in my opinion, but you're right. Philadelphia did not miss anything. I just mentioned about how Philadelphia was changing speeds, keeping them off balance. Philly hit everything. Even if it was a decent pitch, what was that first game when Schwarber took Logan deep? Or was that? I can't remember. He might have hit one in every game, but it was a high fastball up and out of the top rail, and he just got on top of it. It was quite impressive. I mean, they're stacked and they're rolling. Really, I don't know how much better they can play.
I mean, Schwarber's absolutely. That's a scary guy. He's on that level. He's getting the MVP chance in that stadium, and rightfully so. We were on the train today. I was on the train with the Ninja going to the game, and we were stacking their stats up because he was like, there's no way he's going to be the MVP. And I was like, I don't know. Let's stack these numbers up because it's not like, I mean, Ohtani's pitching right now. We'll see how effective and how much he factors into it. I mean, that's a stat. That's a fair argument. But you look at the home runs and the RBIs. He leads all of MLB with, I think, 109 RBIs. He's got 45 home runs, so he leads the NL. He's a 250 hitter. His OPS and his slugs just out of this world. And also look at where the Phillies are and how they're playing. So I think he got a real strong case to be the NL MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a player that I've liked for a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry for interrupting. One other thing I'll throw in there just so that, and if you want to make the DH argument, they're both DHs, except for Ohtani pitches.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Ohtani, he's gotten on the second half of the year started pitching. I haven't followed how successful or how long he's gone into games where he's gotten a win or not. I know they started him off real slow, but I haven't followed if he's going more than 5 or 6 innings. But yeah, that's definitely something that he has an advantage to him. But man, what Schwarber does for that team in that stadium, he just gets that place rocking.
Yeah, when you get to that part of the lineup where it's him, Bryce Miller, and JT Realmuto, it's a scary part of the line. I mean, you're like, this is a juggernaut, and all the other guys around. I mean, look, let's put you this way: I'm watching the local news out here. I'm out around the people in the bars. How the Mariners fans were going around a couple of weeks ago. Not even a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago. That's how they're feeling right now. This is their first sweep at home, I think, all season. Also, I think it's a franchise record for most strikeouts against an opponent. So this is the most anybody's ever and this is the most anybody's ever struck out against them. And this is like one of the original teams of the MLB. So this is a lot of history. So Mariners making more history. There, and also in this series, 48 hits. I think on on Monday when I first got here, 21 hits, which is tied for second most hits by the Phillies ever at Citizen Bank. So it's been that kind of series, and the town and the train, and you could feel it. And let me say something about this: the crowd here. It is as advertised, very passionate. People sit in their seats. People seem to get really fucked up before and after the games, for sure. But they sit in their seats. It's packed. It's a real roar when a big hit happens or a home run happens. I mean, Kyle Schwarber's roar. I feel like I'm at a Seahawks game. It's loud in there.
Yeah, I mean, they were on their game. You're exactly right for how the Mariners played in their homestand. Just out of control. Philadelphia just sure did it here. I mean, you mentioned all those numbers. I mean, I think at one point I heard they had 22 runners in scoring position at one point, and we saw throughout this series how they would first to third the M's to death. They would get on, they'd steal easily, and have a runner in scoring position and knock them in. I mean, it was not good at all for the Mariners.
No, we got a question right here from Seth. What's the big payoff for watching this last series in person? Cheesesteak, pizza, exactly.
Just another ballpark off the list, huh?
Yeah, another ballpark off the list. And Citizen Bank Ballpark's pretty nice. I don't have the video on here, but I did put it on the Instagram story. If we make a clip or something like that, I will say something that they have a nice little pre-funk place. It's kind of like a LA Live kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me also of Seattle Center, where they have that like hall where there's multiple restaurants to go to. So they have that, but they have like Gino's Steaks. They have like a pizza, I think Lorenzo's Pizza. And then they have like this big wall that feels like you're in a sports book. And then there's just multiple bars around there, multiple, this crab fry stand. First of all, I'm sorry. The one Philly, excellent food, but this crab fry shit, I thought they were going to be like, crab on fries. My cousin smartened me up before I ordered. It's just, what's that seasoning? Old Bay seasoning on fries.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no crab involved at all. So thankfully he figured that. I was like, I don't know, maybe that's a thing out here. No. And they also have a PBR bar in there. So they have basically like Cowgirls Inc., all the restaurants and the stands that like Occidental does, but it's in a building. Right outside, right out front is Joe Frazier's statue. So it's pretty cool. And there's an NBC sports bar in there. There's probably 10 or 12 vendors, and apparently they're expanding, and they're probably doing this because next year Philadelphia hosts the All-Star game and Home Run Derby and All-Star Week and all of that. So this is gonna be a good town for that.
Yeah, it's such a cool area down there. Their stadium district where they got the link. Where the Eagles play. Obviously, the basketball and hockey arena in that same little parking lot off to the side, and then in the bank, like you mentioned, and then that really cool little hangout area. It's easy to get in and out. I'm glad you had a good time there.
Yeah. Oh, and I also want to just say, before it's fine, we can get back to the Mariners talk here in a minute, but. I got to talk about their mascot. This is the first time I've actually got to see the Philly Fanatic do his work. I mean, he's prominently featured throughout every game. I mean, the Moose gets his moments, but not like this. And no. I got to say, this guy is the crudest mascot. And here's the video. Today I was sitting in the third row. I noticed this all week because his whole thing is he does the big like hump or whatever, which is like his way of saying like get fucked, you know? Well, they do this thing during the game. He messes with all the players. He was really giving it to Julio and Randy on Monday. Like he wouldn't leave him alone. And Julio's running in from the outfield and he's got that four-wheeler and you're like, are we gonna see another Coco Crisp situation here?
Yeah.
You know? But he was intentionally doing it. Like every time Julio would start running and then he'd pretend he was gonna go and he doesn't. I'm like, that's a bit much. I mean, what if you accidentally hit the throttle? Well, okay, today though we were sitting like 3 rows behind the dugout, and I just want to show you this. They dress up some Mariner. Well, here I'll narrate through it if you can't for the pod here. Okay, yeah, no, they can see that right here. I think it's supposed to be dressed up like Kenny Tyler, and then they bring out the Mariners cannon, who's a fake Mariners player, and then they humiliate him, the bowling runner. They shoot him with squirt guns. Then they point at the dugout.
I'll kick your ass. Come here.
Yeah, I had a couple things to say. You can just wear there. It's pretty.
I'll fuck you up.
But I mean, they do all these rude, crude, crazy things where the moose is like such a welcoming, citizen versus.
Yeah, I was really. Yeah, I mean that is a wild video. I was really hoping because I knew you were sitting close today that the mascot, the Fanatic, was going to get on the dugout, do his dance, and see you and the Ninja and give you guys a big kiss like we've seen the Fanatic do before, where he just suffocates the face of you. It would have been hilarious.
I saw that. And you want to know what else that asshole mascot does? If you were like, hey, I want to take a picture, what's any other mascot do? He takes a picture with you? No, here's what the Fanatic does. You go to take a picture and you turn around, he's bent over showing his ass in the picture. That's what this guy's a crude son of a bitch. He really
It's Philly, man.
He really is. No, and their fans are as advertised. I mean, they are. There's
passionate,
some really great people, but there's some really rude people. The staff there's rude. They don't like it when you're walking around in Mariners gear, or enemy gear, and I've been to many series, with the Mariners, especially in Southern California. Even at the Dodgers, there's a Mariners presence. Of San Diego, big time. Oakland, Sacramento, of course, Anaheim. Yeah, where and you can even hear on the broadcasts. Mariners fans, there probably wasn't. Well, there really wasn't any time to do it, but there just wasn't there was a good amount of Mariners fans, but how packed the stadium is every day in Philly, you didn't really see Mariners fans. You'd see, it's not like you wouldn't see each other, but it was very few and far between versus like having in other stadiums where there's big, huge patches of people. And I feel like the fans were so fed up or just tired or just like, oh, whatever on the series. Like usually after every game, there's always a huge pile of people when they're doing like the post show. There was like 10 people down there. People had just been like, we're getting out of here. I don't want to get on this train and get shit talked to me, Yeah,
I bet. Yeah, you had absolutely zero shit to talk this whole series.
Yeah. And I would see people. I did like one of these hop on and hop off bus tours, and I'm here in town and like I'm in the city center right here by City Hall, and you'd see Mariners fans over at the Reading Terminal, which is maybe the best place to eat. I mean, I love Pike Place Market, but this place doesn't smell bad like Pike Place Market, but it's pretty good. But you'd see Mariners fans, and it went from an optimistic thing to kind of a Tuesday, like, yeah, let's just flush that one, to today, like, oh God, are we going to get one? To after the game, you just see people, and it's just like, they're like, well, or they're stumbling drunk walking down the street. Just like, what the fuck? Like, Because, the team isn't this bad, but, the thing about this was, and it's always been our backbone, is the pitching. And this series, you had Castillo here in the rubber game, which I think, honestly, maybe he might have pitched the best out of the three starters. Maybe. Bryce Miller's return, it's good to see him back, but it kind of looked like the same Bryce that you saw before he got hurt. And Logan Gilbert's start is just, I don't know. I don't know whether to be concerned or was that just a blip on the radar kind of uncharacteristic thing. What did you see about the pitching in this series?
I totally agree with you. It starts with the pitching, and the Mariners' starters were horrendous. You mentioned Logan. Yeah, he was not sharp. Like you said, they were, if they weren't leaving it middle, it was belt high, inside or out. Philly was crushing it. I have a little different opinion on Bryce Miller. I thought he was okay, and I kind of expected him to give up 3 or 4, so I guess that's kind of how I thought going in with him, even though I heard all the good stories about him down in minors, hitting 97, 98. I was glad what he did. I don't think he killed him, but he did, he gave up a couple bombs, and at least the Mariners made it somewhat close, but I didn't expect anything more or less out of him. I didn't feel like he was going to come in and be like a Brian Wu or whatever. And then, Castillo, he's just lost a lot of speed on his fastball to me, even though when I say a lot, a mile an hour or two, and he's just not the same guy on the road. And none of the Mariners pitchers are, other than Brian Wu. So it's just, they got to figure something out quick.
I was kind of surprised how they set up I'd have to go back and see who had what days off, but I was a little bit surprised when we were talking about who was going to be starting on the road. Okay, Miller's coming back, and then you throw in Logan Evans's injury. So I was kind of surprised that we saw Castillo twice on this road trip. Maybe it's just because of that injury. I thought maybe they would save him to start tomorrow night when they got back to Seattle, because I thought that's what they said coming out of the All-Star break, was that they were going to try to, or that was the plan, to have him pitch at T-Mobile Park because he's much more successful there. But then you do that because they did some sort of reset, I think, just right around the Mets series, or maybe it was before Baltimore, if you remember.
Yeah, it's hard to keep him straight. I mean, it was just not good. I mean, this is how I remember it, is Castillo was not good against the Mets or obviously against the Phils. Kirby did not look right and didn't look comfortable and got the piss pounded out of him in Williamsport. And you mentioned what's his name got hurt in Baltimore too, like you said. And then Logan wasn't good in Baltimore or here. So I mean, it was just, and every Mariner fan knows, if you go the way your starting pitching goes, and it did not go good this trip, and not much else went right as well. I mean, there was a few times where the bullpen looked okay at times, but for the most part, it was just home run derby. And who's up next to take their lumps?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, going to that game on Monday night, you could tell in the first inning that they just wiggled out of that, or Logan wiggled out of that. And then
did they look tired?
Yes, that's something I would love to say. I felt like they looked tired. I could honestly, I can't sit here and tell you what the difference between a lot of the sweepers and the sliders and go through all the numbers, but what I can tell you with my eyes, I did feel like a tired or flat or quiet team. I mean, I've been around this team in Sacramento. I've been in, we've named all the cities, all the West Coast cities. We've been there. We've sat very close, and it's usually really upbeat, and you can hear them, and they seem to be having a good time, and they just seem very quiet and just kind of exhausted. And I think it would be fair to feel that way. We talked about this on the last show, right when they were starting this podcast, when they were starting this road trip. We were saying, hey, they got to go to Baltimore, which they should take care of business. And you saw that they weren't playing right. And then they go into play the Mets, and you're like, all right, well, that series that sucked. It happens. But they just had a huge streak. They go and they win game 1 against the Mets, and you're like, okay, cool. Back on track. The Mets are, at the time, had the worst stretch of maybe 2 weeks of baseball to anybody, including the Rockies. They get right against the Mariners. They go down to they go down to Williamsport, and they have this big day. They're, how many videos did we have to watch of them sliding down the hills and riding on the bus? And sure, that's part of the Little League thing. And then also, hey, look at all the Mariners having fun here in Williamsport. Everything's great. God, I wonder what Victor's doing right now. He'd love to be doing this. Cut to Tacoma, wherever in Las Vegas or wherever they're at, and it's him throwing a bat at a pitcher. He ends up getting himself a 10-game suspension. And all of this unfolds while they're showing up to Philly after they let one slip away against a bad team. And now you walk into Philly, you walk into the Lions Den, and, it's a lot of trip, a lot of shit going on. The weather's been hot and humid.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And things haven't gone their way, so I could understand the human side of that.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about Victor, but going back to what you said, you're right. I mean, it was hot and humid in Baltimore. They had some delays, some weather issues. They go to New York, hot as well, but then have to fly out Monday or Sunday morning, do the whole Little League thing. That game got delayed by about an hour. And then that night they fly to Philly, and that's when you caught up with them. Was it pretty hot and muggy in Philly too?
It wasn't very hot, but I found it very pleasant. It felt a little tropical because you got Hurricane Aaron, spinning out there on the coast. Tomorrow or Thursday or today, when this pod comes out on the pod side, is when it's supposed to be at its worst for this area, but it's not turning into Philly. So, but basically what's been sent is a lot of clouds. So it's been pretty cloudy. It was very misty. It was a misty day. I think Tuesday was a little sunny. I mean, by the time they're playing games, I really love this baseball. I would love to play in this weather. The ball was carrying. It was hot. It was like a nice, like you could be outside in a t-shirt, or maybe if you had a light hoodie, you'd be all right. I felt like a hoodie was like a little too much, but definitely you want pants.
Yeah, I'm not making excuses for them, with all this stuff they had to go through. I mean, I don't know if you heard, there's apparently a little bug going around the clubhouse too, so some guys aren't feeling good. But yeah, they're big leaguers. They can play through it, but I mean, I don't know. They looked flat Monday, and getting the piss beat out of them, they didn't look very happy either.
Well, let's talk about something else unpleasant. Dylan Moore. There's plenty of unpleasantness. Oh, do you want something pleasant? Do you want something off topic for 2 seconds so we don't get too wound up? I was saying how it was. I'll give you an idea of what it was kind of looking like. Today I actually went over to Camden, New Jersey, to Rutgers via running over the Ben Franklin Bridge.
Yeah.
And I made sure, of course. Well, I was actually kind of bummed out. I didn't have our rye bread stickers, but I had a couple of flyers, so it was wet, so I kind of stuck them on there for a minute. But there you go.
Looks good.
Looks good right there on the George Washington Bridge. And I do have a video of it. I don't know if I'll be able to put it on here, but I sent it to you, and immediately it came off. So it just looked like a bridge jump. I mean, looked like it was jumping off the bridge, the flyer. And I mean, it flew down and it fluttered, and it takes a really long time. That is a long drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also was going to say, Rutgers. I had no idea they had such a great baseball field. Here, I'll show it to you right here. I'll put it up on the screen. Look at that thing.
That's from atop the Ben Franklin Bridge. Wow.
Yeah. So if you're a lefty, I mean, I don't know how far of a poke that is, but it's not as far as it might look in this video. I would love to see a home run derby with like Ohtani and Big Dumper, all the biggest lefties. And you know what? Even for you right-handers, down the right field line there, or excuse me, the left field line there is like the campus too, like close to the campus. Like, so I'm wondering, or building, I'm wondering how many balls just get out there in batting practice, especially with aluminum. Like, what if you had Ohtani and you had Dumper and you had the biggest lefties in the game, vintage Griffey, and you got him out there?
Well, what just popped into my head as you showed that picture, I'm thinking of Mark Whitten in the Metrodome. I guarantee that ball would be on that bridge.
Oh my God! Oh, and
Hard
here's
hit Mark Whitten.
This guy who was sitting in front of us. I also want to show you this really quick. This guy had a barber's cape made that's a Julio. I don't know if you guys saw this on the broadcast.
Or I didn't. I didn't notice it.
Julio really loved it, and in fact, he signed it for this guy. And I videotaped him getting it signed after the game. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show this. Here's the picture. I got this video of it." And he's like, he goes to type in, on his phone, rye bread mustard. He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous." Not nervous. He goes, "I'm just shaking from what happened," because he got a Julio autograph, and like Julio interacted with him the whole game. It was really cool. I'll cut a video and I'll send it to him.
I mean, that guy, was he a barber? He's got a perfect fade and his beard all trimmed up. I mean, he looks like a barber.
Yeah, I thought he was a barber. He's like a total East Coast guy.
Oh, yeah.
Total East Coast accent. He's got the jewelry. He's got the nice shoes. He's got the shorts. He's got the City Connect Julio jersey on. And Julio was turning around and looking at him too the whole game. It was pretty fun. All right, now back to the shitty stuff.
No, I like how you're doing this. You're keeping it kind of mid, not too high, not too low.
Yeah. Okay. So here's something that was a positive. Actually, I thought offensively, Eugenio Suarez did a really good job in this game, in this series. He tied up the game the night before, which was a gut punch. We'll get into that. And then today we got to see him hit a home run, and he really got into it. In fact, I screwed up. I put it on our Instagram. I did get it on our Twitter because I got a nice shot of it. I just had a feeling in this inning he was going to hit a home run, but then I accidentally put it on my regular personal Instagram page instead of the podcast page, so it was a big waste. But I thought he had a good series offensively compared to what we were seeing that first week when he came over to the Mariners.
Yeah, he's been really struggling hitting something, I think. I saw from when he got, over here. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Looked a lot better and looked like he might have figured something out this series. Because, I mean, I noticed in New York and stuff, he just was in between, getting blown away with fastballs and the spin. He just didn't look comfortable up there, but he looked like he made some adjustments, and he's seeing the ball way better right now.
There we go. I just posted it right now.
Well, how about, I gotta mention it since we're talking about Gino. How about game 2 with both him and JP going off the deepest part of the yard, the 410 marker off that tall wall, and just off center field to the left? I mean, goodness, can we be any luckier to just miss that?
Oh God, yeah, that yard. That's what I do like about that place. It has some of the. It's not cookie cutter. It kind of feels like it's cookie cutter, but the most unluckiest place to hit the ball in the stadium.
And we did it twice in one game.
And I'm not even sure those guys scored. I want to say they didn't.
No,
Oh no,
yeah.
no. Well, let me take that back. I think Eugenio. No, that was just a double by him. I think his double where he actually knocked in the 2 runs was just down the line.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many hits in that series. I mean, it's one of those series, when you just are down at T-Mobile Park like we were for the 2 games that we were against Chicago. Beach Road, where you're just like, it's just a party. I mean, that's just what it was if you were a Phillies fan.
Yeah.
I will say this about Eugenio. He's had some great plays defensively, but I question this. Is there times where maybe he could have a day off at DH, and why can't we have Ben Williamson up here at some point to play at third base?
It's a great question to ask.
I most certainly don't want to see Demo over there, but I also feel like what he does offensively, not to say Gino can't do it all the time, but hey, if you're out there every day and he likes to play every day, he's like Cal, he's like JP, he's playing, he's going to gut through it. But sometimes it's better to be like, we see it with Polanco. When you rest Polanco for a day or two, when he starts to put some back-to-back days where he's not getting any hits and missing the ball, and you're like, all right, set him down for a day, keep him healthy. I wonder if we are going to see, when they expand the rosters and maybe some other moves happen, that maybe you do see Ben Williamson back over here, because there are some plays that were really difficult that I just feel like Ben Williamson would make, as much as I love Gino and I trust him defensively over there.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I like the idea of that as well, even giving Gino a day at DH or something, and I mean, I don't know if you've read or seen, Ben's been doing really good down in Tacoma, showing some power, actually. I think he had one game with at least 2 home runs, and someone put a video out there. It looks like he changed his batting stance a little bit too, opened up a bit, and been showing a little bit more power. But yeah, I mean, it's the way this bench and this team play with, 23 guys on this roster, like 2 or 3 really aren't bringing much to you. Why not,
Yeah. And right before, I also just want to, we have here on our headline, the Mariners did sign a new pitcher. They got some bullpen help coming. Somebody that the Chicago Cubs. Oops, sorry. Almost. Hey, I caught it. Did you hear it, Chris? Okay. Well, that's because the roadcaster isn't hooked up. I accidentally hit our YouTube, and it was playing both at the same time. So let me restart.
I didn't hear it.
So the Mariners, as we were going on here to record this, at least I saw it, Mariners get some bullpen help. Probably they sign a pitcher that the Cubs DFA'd to a minor league contract. But the Mariners have shown that when they get somebody, they usually can do something with it. Dr. Pete Woodworth and Jerry DiPoto usually have a good eye for this. His name's Michael Fulmer. I don't know anything about him. This year, in 33 appearances with 3 different AAA teams this year, Fulmer has a 3.98 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Opponents are batting .230, 68 strikeouts, 24 walks over 54 in a third inning. He's 32. He's made 3 MLB appearances this year, a pair of scoreless outings over 3 innings with the Cubs, 1 appearance with the Red Sox where he allowed 3 runs and 2 1/3. First round pick by the Mets in 2011. Fulmer Had a strong start to an MLB career as a member of the Detroit Tigers starting rotation. He won American League Rookie of the Year honors in 2016 and was an All-Star in 2017. Fulmer missed the 2019 season due to Tommy John surgery and struggled upon his return in 2020. He then converted to a bullpen role with the Tigers in 2021, which included a run as the team's closer, logging 14 saves. In midseason 2022, Fulmer was traded to the Twins and spent 2023 with the Chicago Cubs. He missed 2024 season after undergoing UCL revision surgery.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. I didn't know we picked him up. I must have missed that, but name sounds familiar. But I kind of remember him with those teams you mentioned. But yeah, another arm in the pen. We sure could use that at times. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we'll take any looks you got. You know,
I mean,
the bullpen has, it's never quite been what we thought this bullpen was going to be a couple of years ago. It just really hasn't. It's been inconsistent, and there's been lots of things that have happened, injuries being one of them. And guys having career years, and we've seen that where you have to interchange people. But I like this move because you never know if you're going to get a good run out of somebody. New look, new place. He's a pro. He has experience.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they do bring him up before September 1st, because then he would be on the 40-man. And then he has to be on that, to have the opportunity to be in the playoffs. So, the Mariners definitely have some candidates down there where they could switch out. We saw a few guys struggle this series for sure. So maybe something might happen.
Ooh. I just found something kind of juicy here on my Seattle Times that I pay for, which let's get into this right after this break. But here's the lead in.
Is it the death threats?
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's just
Taylor Salcedo. All right, let's take a break. I'm just gonna glance through this article and we'll get the show back on the road. Let's go with this one.
So my best friend, his name is Myron Sumner, and he's from Seattle, born and raised from the Ballard area. He grew up. He loves you. He's very upset that I'm getting to talk to you right now, but he has a Mariners podcast called Rye Bread and Mustard, named after the famous saying.
Yes, by Dave Niehaus.
Dave Niehaus, yeah. But he's got some questions. I got a couple questions for you. I got two.
Okay.
It's a bit of a deep cut. You share a lot of stories about the Griffies, but I was wondering if you remember your experience supporting junior and senior at the Arsenio Hall show in 1990. What was it like sitting in the dog pound during the prime Arsenio run?
I do remember that. I don't remember how I ended up going to the show with them. Ken was so young. When he would go places, he'd be like, man, come with me, come speak with me, come I'm going to a school, you gotta go. He was so shy. Now he can't quit talking. But seeing those two on there, that was pretty cool.
They shouted you out. You had a moment on camera that was cool. I watched the clip last night.
Oh, that's funny. You're going way back machine with that one.
We got 4-time Gold Glove winners, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. And look, the reason why I bleached my hair back in the 2000s. What's up, Brett?
I love it. You had the hair, huh?
That was like my college look.
That was my thing. My kids still tease me about it. They said, Dad, why don't you go bleach your hair? I said, Dad's getting a little old for that. I said, that was just a phase I went through. It was kind of a shtick. And I used to tell people when I bleached my hair, I'd say the city expects it. So just don't worry about it. Get out of my way. Every 3 weeks, I had my routine.
Did you get your hair done by somebody here?
I did. No, I did. I had a young lady who would come to the ballpark, actually, and I had a barber chair. It was a hair bleaching station. And there was a couple guys on the Mariners that would get it done, too. But every 3 weeks, she would come in. We had a little office space off the clubhouse, and I'd get it done. So that was fun. That brings back pretty cool memories.
So Adam Jude has this article, and I guess you already knew about a little bit about this. There's death threats to Taylor Salcedo.
Yeah, and his girlfriend or wife or something. It's just typical jerks on social media, taking it too far.
I mean,
Just probably not even from Seattle or a Mariner fan. I don't know. Maybe they are, but it's sad.
yeah, it's like it's not Taylor Salcedo's fault. First of all, this entire series, sure, didn't do great here this game, but come on. Second of all, yes, it's done, but I'll just read this really quick. Mariners reliever Taylor Salcedo took to social media to share a threatening message he received on Wednesday following the team's 11-2 loss to the Philadelphia Phillies. Salcedo's post was nearing 1 million impressions late Wednesday. Quote, I understand wanting me gone after today and this year as a whole, Salcedo wrote. Nobody is more disappointed in how this year has gone for me than myself. Trust me, I want to win just as much as all of you, whether I'm here or not. But messaging me this, I'm guessing shit, and my girlfriend and sending us stuff is beyond baseball. It's insane how comfortable people are sending this stuff to not only me, but my partner. Tell me I suck all you want, and that's fine. But at some point, we got to get a grip. The initial post from Instagram profile labeled Gilbert's Goon Squad sent Salcedo a private message on Instagram. I hope you blank your head gets blown up. I hope your blanking head gets blown off to pieces walking in Philly. And proceeded to add vulgar comment like this about his partner, former Mariners center fielder Mike Cameron, now special assignment coach for the club and active social media user, offered a message of support to Salcedo. Cameron wrote, Sauce, do me a favor and turn off your responses and focus on baseball. You already know how people being fanatics will be. Report they butts to MLB and keep it moving, brother. I commend you guys for being able to play in the social media era. Yeah. It goes on and on here. So go check that out by Adam Jude. But yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is.
And it's pussy. And it's pussy to do that, to be a threatening keyboard warrior. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely
it's a fucking pussy move. Like I told you back when the bartender day, I remember one of the times I got so bad was when somebody would write something terrible about me like on a receipt instead of like come up to my fucking face and tell it to me.
Yeah. Well, before I really want to talk about Robles. Before I do, I want to ask about your trip back there. Just change up the subject for a minute. You get to Independence Hall, seen the Liberty Bell, or gone to the Rocky Steps, or any of that yet?
I got to see the Liberty Bell. I saved my going to see the two Rockies. And I say the two Rockies. Let me tell you something, a little bit of history. You know the Rocky that stands on top of the steps of the
it's on the bottom part.
There's one on the bottom and there's one on the top.
Yeah.
And you know the reason why, don't you?
I don't know the reason why they made two.
No, the original one from the movie that Sly Stallone had when they made Rocky 3 stayed up there, and all the artist community and all the people that were involved with the museum were saying that wasn't art, that was a movie prop, and blah 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 blah. They wanted it gone, and then they were like, fine, and it was gone, and they took that statue and they put it outside where all the stadiums are over there, because they're all right next to each other. Where the Flyers and the Sixers play are next to where the Eagles play, who are next to where the Phillies play. And I guess they had it there. And then the museum was losing so much foot traffic from people going to see that they're like, we want it back. And I don't know if it could come back at that point. They're like, no, or whatever. So they put up another statue, and it's Sly Stallone's, and he that's why it looks more modern, or it looks different than the other one. Then now they have the other one. It's down off to the side on the grass over there. But no,
Yeah.
tomorrow I'm gonna do the Rocky run over there.
Nice.
I made the run across to New Jersey today for some contraband, and I brought it across the Delaware River. I felt like I'm basically George Washington now. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I'll leave it up to your imagination what I went to go grab.
You know, when you mentioned the stadiums over there, did you notice how in the parking lot of the Eagles Stadium they have like carports or something built in the stadium parking lot, so you can either park under and tailgate under for weather? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's everything set up, and the train's perfect there. It's the last stop. I'm staying right here at City Hall. I'm staying in the Lowe's. You can see this behind me. That's the they turned off the lights. So it's like the Jefferson building right behind me. It looks right over. I'm looking right down Market Street all the way into the Delaware River that goes over to New Jersey. Yep. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey. I went to Camden, New Jersey today. All right. Oh, one of the things that we still got to talk about, we haven't gotten into this, the whole Victor Robles thing. Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, we don't need to pull the video up right here. And I actually haven't had the time. I haven't listened to any Seattle stuff or sports because I've been just, after the Mariners lose, I'm out there touring around looking for Ben Franklin's grave and things like that. And stuffing my face and eating my emotions. At least I'm in Philly during this beating the Mariners have taken and this bad turn that they've taken, because I've been able to, eat my emotions, and at least I'm in Philly eating good things like tomato pies and cheesesteaks and Dutch breakfasts and but
did you get your shepherd's pie?
I have not got my shepherd's pie. I'm gonna hopefully get over there after I cut. We're going late night here. I am looking at the clock if I can get the shepherd's pie. No, but I just had a cheesesteak before I came on here.
Did you? One more food question. Right. Have you tried Scrapple before, or have you had it back there?
That's the place, because I go to the Dutch eating place because I'm right across from the Reading Terminal. It's like, why go eat anywhere else? I have a market right. Like, I go downstairs and I walk across the street. I wear this bathrobe. No, it was just cold in here. All my stuff is drenched. All my long gear is drenched because today was a day that it was just a complete mist all day. As far as what was I getting into? Oh, the Victor Robles. I just haven't been paying attention to too much stuff. You watched the John Boy thing. You got the backstory of it. Let's just review it if somebody doesn't know.
Apparently, Victor Robles and his 15 at-bats in Tacoma on his rehab assignment. He's been hit 4 or 5 times in his rehab assignment. The pitcher who finally hit him his 5th time has hit him before when they were both in the big leagues because they were facing Las Vegas, and that's the Athletics AAA team anyway. It was funny about that where he got hit. He got drilled pretty much right in the chest, and he was kind of almost looked like, he did swing. I don't know if he was trying to protect himself or what, but anyway, he took, he was pissed off about it after being hit so many times, and he kind of turned to the pitcher and mouthed something to him, and his, dropped the bat during that point, but then grabbed it back and then threw it. I haven't seen any video of where it landed or how close it landed, and then obviously he was thrown out of the game, and then they went to go collect his stuff in the dugout, and then sent the sunflower seed box onto the third baseline. So it was interesting. I thought he would get maybe even a few more games, but 10 seems pretty much standard. You don't see people throw the bat. They want to make an example out of him. just reading people's opinions of it when it first happened. Some people thought, oh, it was 40 games. He's done for the year. Some people really didn't think it was that big a deal because he's been hit so many times. But like I said, they had to make an example out of him, and it's unfortunate for him and how it kind of hurts the Mariners, for they sure could have used him this series, facing all those lefties. But what surprises me is you've been hit 5 times already. Why haven't the Rainiers pitchers put one in somebody else's ribs? That's old school, how we kind of remember it. I'm really surprised that hasn't happened. You got a big leaguer up. Why haven't one of the Rainiers pitchers said, okay, enough's enough, and thrown at those guys? And my last point, Myron, is like we both talked about, if he would have charged the mound, he would have got way less of a suspension. The big key was throwing that bat.
Yeah. If he just went out there and punched somebody, you're getting 1 or 2, 3 games. Everybody's like, okay. And usually it'll get broken up.
Yeah.
You're right. Where is the footage of where the bat landed? Is there some Zapruder fucking tape out there? Like, where did it land? Because I was wondering if he just threw it like out that way, like you throw a vase at a wall. You're not really trying to hit somebody or something and argue. Like, boom, you're making a point. Like, and when you throw the water jug afterwards, I think that's got you maybe this went from an 8 gamer to a 10er, because that's always like a 1 or a 2er if you throw everything out there.
Well, my opinion is if it would have hit the pitcher, probably would have been 20 or 25 games.
Well, at that point you're looking at like at least negligent assault. You know what I mean? Or something. It's serious at that point. But yeah, this one is about as crazy. When I saw this footage, I thought it was from like long time ago. Like I really was like, what? Did he just, oh my God, it says Tacoma on it. Like I said, imagine if you're working for Seattle Mariners PR. Let's just go back in the time machine about 2 weeks ago. You just made all these trades at the trade deadline. The Mariners are on a 9-game winning streak. You just had the Ichiro thing. People around the major leagues are like, oh my God, this Cal Raleigh guy. They're getting everybody back. Okay, they're on this road trip, whatever things happen. They're at the Little League. This is great. Everything is great. Hey, let's put out posts of them going down the hill, them with the kids, blowing bubble gum with, I don't know, whatever they're doing. This is awesome. Like I said, damn, I wonder what Victor's doing right now. Boom, cut to Tacoma. This. Imagine like your PR job that you just were like, I thought we were going to have we just got through all the tough stuff. We just got through the deadline. We just got through the Ichiro thing. Imagine just being that person and going, all right, how do we fucking damage control this fucking situation?
Yeah, I mean, I read his apology. Yeah, I understand. I mean, his mother passed away. I get it. But
yeah,
you gotta know. I mean, he knows better. It was a big mistake. It's unfortunate, and I mean, Canzone gets beamed this week too. Hasn't played since then. Got that sore wrist. Rayleigh's back. I mean, they definitely can use him. Like I said, it would have been nice if he was available and ready to go facing all these left-hand pitchers. And just a right-handed batter off the bench, because you know what our right-handers off the bench are. Those 2 guys with Garver, Donnie Baseball, or Donnie Barrel, as you call him. I hate that guy. And then Moore. I mean, that's just murderer's row of trash.
A hodgepodge of shit is what I think you called it at one point. And yeah, you wonder why. Look, it was it injuries? What was it? Why aren't we rolling out the lineup that had that winning streak where we just saw everybody every day? And now we saw that lineup every day. And now you have not. You've went away from that formula.
Yeah, what's frustrating is, I mean, Dylan Moore, he's striking out 50% of the time. He's not going to get on base. I mean, I know, why not throw Rayleigh out there? We know he doesn't hit lefties that good either. but who cares? Let's change it up.
Look, Dylan Moore yesterday, or one of the games I was out. One of the games I was right by the pole in right field. And this guy was screaming, and I was looking down at my phone, just fucking laying into Dylan Moore and telling him how shitty he was. And I looked up, and I was shocked, Hannah. I was shocked it was a Phillies fan. I thought it was a Mariners fan laying into him like that. Yeah, and I laughed, and I looked at the guy, and I go, I agree. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. It's, he's been around for a while, but hey, we're moving on. Last year we moved on from a lot of this old Mariner regime. We definitely moved on from it. And it's time. I mean, he's looking shaky in the outfield. His arm's not looking that great, and every piece of contact he's had is soft. And when I say every piece of contact, I think we can count him on under two hands, in the last month. And he's got 3 hits in the 2.5 months. Sure.
And the only one.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the only one that I can remember was that one in the Mets series when he hit a double down the line. It was, oh my God. But you're right. Soft contact, 3 hits in 2 months, just absolutely just not right. Looks terrible defensively. Confidence is shot. I mean, I feel for the guy, but time is time.
Another odd thing that I just thought was just different. I felt this was different was, okay, we get Luke Raley back. I get it. You're kind of like, we got to go with Dom Canzone. I agree. You got to ride the hot hand until it's not hot or it's injured. It was interesting that we just never saw, that I can remember seeing Luke Raley, and it wasn't until this year he's sat around quite a bit. At least 80% of the time he's not been playing.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I don't remember him in the Mets series, and just remember him pinch hitting a couple times here in this Phillies series. But let's get him out there. I'd rather see him out there. He looked fine in the field. Like I said, anything's better than what Moore's putting out there. Even though, like I said, he doesn't hit lefties well either. But what the hell?
Yeah, you're okay with them going 0 for 12 or 0 for 15 in a series if it was 3 lefties in a row, but damn well Canzone or Raley would have 1 or 2 hits at worst, and they would be shockers or bombs. That's just what happens. Like when the lefties really get after a left or get a hit from a lefty, I swear every time that they are successful, it's always the defense is in a different spot, or it's a big hit, or it was something that they weren't expecting, or it's a bomb. And then about 10 terrible at bats will follow after that.
Yeah, you're right. Canzone looks pretty solid. I was very impressed with it. Since he came up, how he's doing against lefties, hitting the ball the other way and just hitting it hard. But so unfortunate to get hit in the wrist like he has, and just reports are that it's still stiff. So thank God it's not broken. But it was definitely a big loss this series. I mean, it was a loss, but in the whole scheme of things, what does it matter? But better than Moore out there.
Here's another thing that kind of the Mariners now. There's not much you can do about it. You got to go with the guys you got, but you wonder how can Young or can Williamson or who else could back up at shortstop besides Dylan Moore? Because we were talking about, it's time to DFA guys, but it's like, who's going to back up if JP were to go down or has to nurse something, right? Or just a day off. I mean, the guy has to play shortstop every single day.
I don't know if Master Boney plays it. That's another guy I'd rather see up than Dylan Moore. I don't know if he plays shortstop, but you have the option of Louis Rivas down in Tacoma. He's shown he can play the position, I thought, okay up here. Did fine. His stats look good down in Tacoma. That's an option too, but it just seems like you're exactly right. They're keeping him around because he can spell JP if something was to happen and play a few other positions because he sure had a long leash.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mariners really did need to grab, I'm sorry, like a Willie Castro or somebody that played. They needed to grab somebody that was did Demo's job, but could hit. That's what they really are. That's what they really are missing. I wonder what they can do. You look at the team, you have a lot of former shortstops, but you're like, I'm not going to put Polanco over there. He used to be a shortstop. You're not going to put Gino over there, probably. He used to be a shortstop. But I don't know if Cole Young used to be a shortstop.
Yeah, that's another option. Yeah, he's played some games in the minors there. You got Samad Taylor down on the farm too. You got a cup of coffee up here. I don't know if he can play short, but you're right. Cole Young doesn't have the arm, I don't think, but he could spell you there. If something was to happen to JP in the middle of the game. But
I just keep on looking at Demo and going like, well, I get it, and then you're like, he needs to be gone. We need reinforcements with that spot. But then you're kind of like, yeah, but there's like emergency situations, kind of same thing. Why you got to have a backup catcher. You got to have a backup guy that can play, 4, 5, and 6.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be something that I want an answer on that sooner than later. Like what is that? Well, let's just it's getting late out here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that damn what was I going to get to that? The shepherd's pie. It's probably not happening. But I will say shepherd's pie, or not shepherd's pie, that place I did get the Mile High meatloaf. And that's at McGillen's, which is the oldest bar in Philly. Everybody's like, this is the oldest bar. It's been around since 1860. Pretty cool spot. I mean, everywhere's got the Phillies shit going on, Maybe not up on the high society hill, but everywhere else in town, people are really into the Phillies right now, as they should be. I will say that out here. A lot of pride. It feels good. It feels like how we are when we actually are in the playoffs. It feels like Seahawks. It felt like that Seahawk vibe out here. So
yeah, it's great sports town.
Great sports towns. Well, if you like this show, maybe this is your first time we've talked to you out here in Philly. Met a nice group of Mariners fans. Not as many, like I said, as I meet on the West Coast, but probably got some new listeners. Want to say what's up to them. Thanks for liking and subscribing, like everybody else should be doing that's watching this or listening to the pod. If you listen to the pod, come check out the YouTube. And if you're you check us out on the YouTube or on Twitter, wherever this is streaming, check out our pod. Drive around and listen to us in the car or whatever. And what else do we want to say here? I'm so damn tired. Oh yes, you always got to visit In the Clutch Apparel to find whatever the new hot tea is out with the Mariners. They actually have a new one, Hanno. I just saw it the other day. It's In the Clutch Apparel, like I said, .com. And you put in our promo code rye bread and mustard, and I'm gonna pull this up on the screen. We have a new Josh Naylor shirt that we're gonna reveal here on the Rye Bread and Mustard Mariners podcast. Again, promo code, you can see it right here on here. Rye Bread and Mustard, all one word. You ready for the reveal, Hanno? What it is?
Yeah.
It's called Swipe. Josh Naylor Swipe. It's got a cartoon character of him stealing. Let me zoom in on this. His helmet says wheels. And look at the street sign back here. It's got the number 12.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. Let's check out a little bit more detail that we got here. Beware of, what's it say? Nails. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, anyways, let's see what they're selling this thing for over at in the clutch. $30. But hey, you put that promo code in, it's gonna be less than that. And again, promo code rye bread and mustard, all one word. Also, if you want that street cred for rocking the rye bread, I've rocked the rye bread all throughout Philly. You know, and you know what? A lot of people would ask me, what the hell does that mean? So I got to educate people what rye bread and mustard meant. Even the Mariners East Coast fans didn't, some of them that maybe just don't listen to the radio broadcast. But we rock the rye bread out here, and those were made by at simply.cora. You actually find her on Instagram, DM her, she'll hook you up or hit up the podcast. And listen, Mariners are going home. They're going to need some home cooking. Best place to get that home cooking pregame is Tacos and Tequilas. Pioneers Tacos and Tequilas on Occidental. In fact, maybe we'll see on this homestand. We will be there at least one game. We got to figure out when that is. We do have to make an appearance down there. The last time we were down there, Hannah, if you don't know, if you go into the game, you'll see our beautiful sign up there. That was done by a union worker here. Hannah, he brought the power drill down there and the sign because Joe's a busy guy. They have a new expansion to the place. We'd always drop off our banner and it would get lost or it would go. He'd go, oh shit, I gotta find that banner. We just brought one down, and Hannah, you drilled it up yourself.
Yeah, it's a great spot to go to before the game or after. They got an outdoor patio, great tacos, easy to get in and out. Service is quick, and it's real close to the left field entrance.
Yeah, we'll be down there today, and also next we got the Vetter Cup coming up next week.
All we need is one.
All we need is one to win the Vetter Cup. And as well, during the Vetter Cup week, it is also, I'll be down there on Tuesday of the Padres game back in Seattle. It's Native American Heritage Night. We'll be down there representing.
That'll be fun. And I'll be down there the next day.
Yeah, and you'll be down there. You'll be holding it down the next day. Work trip.
Yeah, a little work game. So
you're getting spoiled. Are they going to put you up in a nice hotel like this where you got a bathrobe though? Huh?
Not that special.
Yeah, I'll be down there though Tuesday. Native American Heritage, and then possibly maybe we'll try to go get to one of these Oakland A's games just to get feeling right. But I don't know. I'm more interested to see what they can do against a team like the Padres because right now, really, you want to see where they stack up. I thank God the Philadelphia Phillies wouldn't be a problem unless you could make it to the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got to do well against Oakland, or people are going to think this team's they're going to burn this team down. So I think things will play a lot better for them on the homestand. They play better at home.
Well, hopefully Hurricane Aaron won't swallow us up here, and I know we're going to be totally fine. We'll be back in Seattle this weekend. I will be there for the entire homestand before heading back to Los Angeles, so I'm definitely happy to be there checking games out. Anyways, we did all the other stuff. We did a longer banger because I know we missed an episode here, so got a little bit of extra us just fucking wasted time here. You got any other questions, comments, concerns, Hanno?
Nope. Safe travels back. Enjoy the rest of Philadelphia and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm going to put some of the stuff up on Instagram maybe tomorrow or Twitter with the day off. Get some content out of there. Anyways, with that being said, Hanno, you know what time it is. Cha.